To the NAIA ranks Lourdes at Siena Heights in the opener of a men's and women's doubleheader. Opening minutes, Nadine Jimma misses the bunny. Shaylin Miley, the freshman, there for the rebound and the putback. Allie Miner, the senior, averages just under 3.5 threes per game, knocks down the triple from the corner. Saints up 9 after 1. In the second, Mercedes Wagner gets into the lane. Contested jumper falls. That snaps a nearly 7-minute streak without hitting a shot from the floor. Before the Grey Wolves could get going, Shaq Parker started to heat up. Back-to-back three-pointers as the Saints outscored Lourdes 26-6 in the second quarter. Siena Heights rolls 79-42. Their offensive success starting on defense.
Coach Sue emphasized having fight pride on the defensive end, and I feel like our defensive side really led to our offense, and that's really what helped us tonight. Normally that's what happens to happen. If we're hitting and we're hot, we always have to adjust if they're adjusting to us. So looking inside, and then if we don't have it inside, we go right back outside. So they're going to have to defend something.
The Siena Heights men hosting Lourdes in the second of the double dip. First quarter, Saints up. Jaden Sims slices his way through the defense, pulls up with a jumper. Saints out to the early lead. Back down the other way, Brett Loth to McCray White. Two-handed finish. Wolves would eventually head into the break up 11. We go to the second half, under a minute to play. Saints looking for the tie. Looks like they are stopped. Curtis Bell gets it, pump fake, spins the ball up and in. We are tied at 57. 2.8 left on the clock. Lourdes on the inbounds. Joey Holyfield for the lead. Got it. Bucket and the foul. The Cardinal Stritch alum steals it. Lourdes gets the 60-57 win. Holyfield finishes with a dozen, securing a spot in the top 4 for the conference tournament.
Right, so conference tournament coming up next week, and we know we can't play like how we did tonight. Tonight was kind of unacceptable for our standards of Lourdes basketball. No offense to Siena Heights, but we have to play better going forward. And we know even though the conference tournament doesn't start Saturday, it starts Saturday. There's no more losing, and that's the mentality we have to have.
Brad Woznicki and Brandon Bosch break down the close win for Lourdes.
Thanks. Back out here inside the Siena Heights University Fieldhouse, we have wrapped up our Wednesday night doubleheader, and starting with the women's game, coming in, the Saints, they know they're headed to the postseason tournament. Lourdes, they're wrapping up their season this week, and the Grey Wolves came into this game knowing they would have to battle, but at the end of the night, that second quarter was what really opened this game up when Siena Heights outscored the Grey Wolves 26-6, led by that trio.
Yeah, and Lourdes battled in the second half. However, in that second quarter, it was all Siena Heights. They really did damage from inside and out, and that three-point line in the first half, 6 for 10 in the first half. You saw Parker get going, you saw Banks get going, you saw Miner get going. Again, those three players, like you said, a three-headed monster that just kept it going all night for Siena Heights.
Siena Heights looking forward to having a first-round home game when they get the postseason underway. Then we turn our attention to the men's game, and the first half, it was controlled pretty well throughout by the Lourdes Grey Wolves going into the locker room with that 11-point lead, but the second half, it was back and forth. The Saints gave themselves a chance, even tied this game at 57 before Joey Holyfield, who had a pretty quiet night overall, came through in the clutch.
He really did, and you have to give credit where credit's due. That Siena Heights team, in the first half, we felt like they were just 1 or 2 points away from really getting out of that game. We felt like it was almost out of their hands, but Lourdes just could not put them away, and you saw that run to start the second half where they just 10-2 right away. Siena Heights got themselves right back into the game. They were able to battle. Again, a really nice finish there. Joey Holyfield, like you said, a tough night overall, but that fadeaway 2-point shot there was big for the Grey Wolves.
And at the end of the night, this is a win that Lourdes needed because they have really had a rough road down the stretch here after a program record 13 consecutive wins. What we saw here tonight in the battle against the Saints is what they're going to see in the postseason.
Yeah, and they've got an opportunity to tie for the record for most wins in a season by a Lourdes team, which will be huge for them in terms of accomplishing that. But they've also got a game that's going to be coming up here for seeding against Cornerstone, potentially get all the way up to the 2 seed in the tournament. That would be nice to have not only home field advantage, but be able to play as the higher seed throughout most of that until you end up playing Indiana Tech potentially in the finals.
On the men's side, the Lourdes Grey Wolves are headed home with the W, and so are we. Back to the studio.